Hey, what's up? It's Taylor. Today is Christmas, and of course, what is the number one thing on every woman's shopping list that she would like to receive for Christmas from her husband?
Jewelry and chocolates and puppies.
Yeah, not her though. She doesn't want any of those things. She wanted car parts. So, we got her an intake for her extraordinarily dirty Evo. And as you can see, she is clearly prepared to work on a car today with her white pants on.
Hey, they're the really cool ones that don't get dirty.
They're gonna get dirty. So, I'm going to put all this on the car, but first we have to see what's in the box. So let's open it up. Alright, so, haven't opened this yet. I don't know what's inside of it. Hopefully everything's here, because if it's not, then we won't be doing anything today.
I took a peek.
So, we've got a nice little dyno chart here that shows the power that you can expect to gain. Don't really expect to gain anything, but whatever. Got a license plate frame that we won't be using. A rubber intake hose. What else we got? We got the air filter, which is red.
It matches my Brembos.
Like that. And your sweater. We've got the box that the air filter goes into. Random hose. Looks to be like a weather seal.
Cover.
This looks to be like a shield. There's AEM on it, probably for the top of the airbox. And then another hose, which this one's hard plastic. So keep that. Nothing else in the box except for a bunch of little tiny pieces of plastic.
What's the point of making that red if that's not cheaper?
No idea. Alright, so see what we have here. So this is the top of the airbox. Air filter, leather stripping, hose, tubing, bolts and clamps, other intake pipe, and the airbox. Alright, well, it doesn't tell me what tools to use, so let's head over and pop the hood and probably get started. Please excuse how dirty the car is. We took it to a party last night, and it's very snowy and salty out. Today's Christmas, so we didn't wash it. Alright, I don't feel like doing this, so we'll see you next time. Alright, so basically we're going to try to simplify this. So what we need to do is take out the stock airbox, take off the mass airflow sensor harness from the mass airflow sensor, remove the zip ties from the airbox, and remove the bolt securing the airbox to the vehicle. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so we're about 10 minutes into this, and everything's going well except these two guys here. The two little rivets that hold the air intake inlet in. The instructions say, and show a picture of a screwdriver, just pop them out. Well, they don't just pop out, on this car at least, on hers, because they are little plastic screws, and they strip very easily apparently. And did a quick search and found out that apparently these strip all on their own. So I just used a knife, pried them out, and that's where we're at now. So we're going to keep going here, going to keep taking this apart, and catch back in just a second. Alright, so now where we are at. As you can see, we've got the airbox and the inlet out, or the airbox inlet, as well as the inlet tube down to the turbo. However, anybody out there who owns an Evo 10, can you let me know if this is normal? I'm not big on turbo cars because I don't. My Jeep is, but there's oil all over the inlet tube as well as in it. You can see, not a lot, but it's something, and I don't know if it was just on the the part where it goes in, like where the hose gets attached to it. Like maybe it was some kind of oil used to slip it on, which doesn't make sense to me. This car is 25,000 miles, so If it's blowing oil by, I don't know. Is that normal? Is that not normal? What do I do? But we're going to continue with the installation. But that's just very strange to me that there should be oil there, which I don't know. Is it a catch can situation? I don't know what's going on. I don't know how the air or the oil got in there. Maybe the oil's just getting into the intake and finding its way down there. But as you can see, we've got the stock air inlet off, stock airbox off. So altogether, it's what time is it? It's 1:30. So after some monkeying around, this has taken about 45 minutes to get to where we are now. But like I said, these little plastic screw clip guys that were in here were kind of a pain to get out because I didn't realize that they were plastic and could just slide out because they're stripped. And then getting this thing out wasn't the easiest in the world either because it's down there and I got bigger hands, so that wasn't too easy. But now the steps in the process are we got to take the bypass valve off as well as the mass airflow sensor because we have to use those. And then also on the underside of this box, the instructions say to keep these two grommets because I'm probably going to use them on this to mount it to the same spot under the hood. So let's get that going. Let's take this off. Let's take the mass airflow off and hook them up to the new system and go from there. And we'll fast forward to that now. We've got her K&N drop-in filter here, which is relatively clean, and yeah, it's in good shape, so don't need it anymore, but still have it in case I should have to put all this back on. Alright, so now this part is going to be for me to assemble the new airbox. So apparently we are going to keep this piece. Yeah, I guess we're keeping that piece, but we have to install the stuff on this side of the airbox so that we can put the new air inlet tube onto this. So after about an hour, it's all back together. So you got the airbox with the filter in it. I didn't put this piece back on just because the clips that popped out of here fell down, and if they're not on the floor, I don't know where they are. So I'll either have to get new ones or leave it like this. I don't think that's going to hurt anybody. But yeah, I got the bypass valves all hooked back up. Everything's hooked up, and yeah, really rather simple install. I did it by myself. My wife didn't really help, but that's fine. So now we get the good old-fashioned table full of parts that get to go to the back of the garage with all the rest of the extra parts, the exhaust systems and everything else. So we're going to toss these into the boneyard and go take the car for a spin and see if it sounds any different, if it performs any different. But let's get in the car and go. Alright, so now we're in the 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution MR that I just installed the AEM Cold Air Intake on, and hopefully I tightened everything back down correctly. I'm pretty sure I did, but back a long time ago, 2006, 11 years ago, right around Christmas time actually, I installed the cold air intake on my Mazda Speed Miata that I have, also a turbocharged car. And after driving it for a little bit and then racing my friend's Ford Focus, Don't worry, that's just telling me the roads are icy. After racing my friend's Ford Focus, and he was beating me with a normal, nothing special Ford Focus, I realized that I didn't tighten down the hose going, which one was it? The pipe coming up from the turbo, which this kit doesn't have. This intake is just purely the air filter down to the turbo, but from there up, it's all the stock stuff. But anyway, I got back to the house and totally forgot to tighten those down. Tightened it down, and the car felt a lot better, so let's just hope I didn't do that this time. Alright, so we're actually, we're going to head to a different road that's a little farther away, only because I want the car to warm up a little bit before I really beat on it. Because right now it's like 20 degrees outside, and the car hasn't been driven all day up until this point. So I'm just going to let the oil get a little warmer, but I can tell already, just kind of leaning into it a little bit, that it is a little bit louder. So yeah, it should be, according to the sheet of paper that was in the top of the Airbox, like, or the whole box kit that came with it, that top sheet of paper said that 17 horsepower gain at 4,100 RPM. So we'll see if that's true. Actually, we won't see because I don't have a dyno.
I was going to say, we have no way of knowing.
But anyway, it snowed yesterday for like the second time this season, and so the roads are all kind of snowy, but where we're going, we don't need roads. No, we need roads. They just need to be plowed a little bit. So these roads are a little bit less plowed than normal, but we've got the snow tires, so I'm not too worried about it. So avoid that dead body, and all right. Feels about the same, but I was on icy snow. Yeah, this is probably a fairly dangerous road to be driving on quickly, but
Christmas, nobody's out.
it is a little bit louder, but I think because this car has the loud exhaust system, it's not as noticeable. Maybe under a heavy load, but in a higher gear.
Definitely hear it.
It is louder, but I think at full throttle in the right gear, it's not too much louder, only because the exhaust system's so loud. So we're going to turn around here and go back towards a road that might have been paved in the last 24 hours. Or not paved, plowed. Paved too, maybe, I don't know. I don't know when this road was paved. So yeah, this car does handle quite well in the snow with these tires. I'm not even in snow mode.
Unlike what I did yesterday.
She sends me video footage of her sliding sideways, which that's what every husband wants to get from his wife.
I did it on purpose.
We got a big truck and a Subaru, also probably going back there to screw around in the. Yep, I don't know if you can see that through the rear window, but that truck's trying to do
Burnout.
some drifts.
Is it? Turn around, let's go see.
They both are. The truck and the Subaru are. Should we turn around?
Yeah.
We're gonna turn around.
See, that's all that I did. It's really
Keeps
good.
telling me the brake system needs to be serviced, but we need to find these hooligans that are back here in their truck and Subaru. Man, this sun is brutal.
Where's it go?
They're way back there, I can see.
Remember, like 2 years ago when somebody was in the cornfield?
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Was it?
Last year we came back here to do the same thing. This is like a long stretch of road that leads to a mega church, which has nothing on the road until you get to that church. And last year we came back here to test out her snow tires, and none of this had been plowed. And there's a big field over here to my left that we ripped through, and then these headlights start driving towards us, and there was a couple of like high school kids in a pickup truck and a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And yeah, that big
Nice!
that Dodge Ram's doing donuts.
It was this field here.
Yeah, it's this field. Yeah, that's he's just doing donuts in his
pull up behind him
whatever that is. I think they're both gonna do it. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what they do. Those guys be, they're having a good time. Alright, so I think the intake worked well, and yeah, the car is a little bit louder. I have no idea if it's any faster. Maybe if we go back to the track next year we'll find that out, but that was the installation and testing of the AEM Cold Air Intake for the 2015 Mitsubishi Lancer Revolution MR. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, give it a share, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.